again here, and if you have not been following, my name is Marco, and I enjoy making these videos and being able to share my life, career, and travel experience with you guys. I also try to get those recommendations from you guys to see what my next journey will be. As you guys have seen my other videos, I do have law enforcement experience, and I am currently in the process with the military. I am now currently going to my first drill weekend after completing my basic boot camp, also known as BCT. I graduated December 19th of 2022, and this is my first drill weekend of January of 2023. And as you are might be aware, if you've been following, I am also currently in the process with as an officer candidate, which means I will be going to another boot camp, which is also known as OCS, or Officer Candidate School. And after completing that, I will be able to be commissioned and get promoted to second lieutenant for the Army National Guard. And as I mentioned, I already have everything that I already packed up for my weekend. 1 night, 2 days, so I am staying the night there. I also have all my paperwork with me, so that's all the, all my forms, all my documents that I have to have. And I'm pretty sure, since this is my first time, they're gonna most likely go over my paperwork, and they're gonna go, anything that needs to be fixed, or anything that needs to be corrected, or anything that needs to be added as well. And so I look forward to that, and I'm kind of excited about it. This is the next step in being able to get all my paperwork squared away and all that stuff to prepare me for my next boot camp, which is OCS, also known as Officer Candidate School. This is a recruitment sustainment program, also known as RSP if you're in the National Guard. But for this RSP, like I mentioned on my previous videos, they have an RSP-O, mainly what is for officer candidates, and it's that I'm aware of right now. It's a new program that they have over here in Southern California to prepare officer candidates to go into OCS. So if you're in the National Guard, you'll be aware that they'll send you to like a drill, which they call RSP, Recruitment Sustainment Program, and it's to help the next trainees to go to a basic boot camp and be able to succeed, and that way they know what to expect, how to form up, how to do drills and certain things like that. So it's a very useful asset to have. So now I'm going to this new one that's RSP-O, and now it's going to be preparing me for my next boot camp, which is OCS. So it is currently 6:20 in the morning. I am a little over an hour away from my base. So that's pretty much it as of right now. I am already dressed up in my PT uniform, as you can probably see it. Once I get there, I will have my first formation and get ready. And then I'll see you guys in a little bit once I arrive to my base. Catch you guys in a little bit. And I am arriving right towards my base. So now I have to look for where I have to go. I know I got my email giving me an address, but when I came over here, because I came to the same base for CIF for my equipment that you guys saw in my previous videos, I couldn't find this area, but I did find the address somewhat, but it didn't give me much. I tried to ask some people, and no one really knew. So as we wait, as I enter the base, we will see where I have to go. And as you can see, now I have sunglasses on because it is now almost 7:20. So as I mentioned, my commute over here is about just a little over an hour. And yeah, now I am just literally like a minute away, but there is traffic right here for the base because this is also known as an Army Reserve area. So I'm assuming the Army Reserves also have their drill here on the same time that I will have mine. Oh, how's it going, sir? Thank you. I don't know. Is the RSP right here and the one on the left for National Guard?
RSP usually is at building 3.
Building 3. Which one's that one?
That's the one behind the main division building. Typically, I don't know exactly this month, but usually they're behind building 3, which is directly behind the big building.
Thank you, sir. And as you can see, all I had to do was ask one of the MPs or military police at the front gate, and they told me that, you know, he's not too sure or positive about it, but they usually hold the drill weekend behind the main building, which is building 3. Last time I was here for CIF, I didn't see any building 3, so now I have to go look for this place. This is why it's also a good thing to always make sure that you're here early, especially if it's your first time. That way you can look for the place that you have to go and you're not rushing. I still got easily 40 minutes before my first formation. So that's why it's always a good thing to make sure you're here early, especially if it's your first time. So a few guys right here we'll see, and I'll ask them. Excuse me, gentlemen. Are you guys here for the RSP? You guys know where that's at? There's one. All right, appreciate you guys. All right, it looks like I found the area, I believe. I just don't know where I have to park. So now I just have to find parking, which, like I said, I still got roughly over 30 minutes still. So I am glad I found this place. So, all right, guys. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the same thing as the RSP drill that I had the month prior to my BCT. As you guys are aware of that video, if you guys have been following me, like I mentioned last time when I went to RSP, they did take my phone and keys. So I don't know how this one's gonna work, but if they take my phone away, I'll catch you guys when I get my phone back. All right, guys. So catch you guys on the next one, or either in a couple hours or probably tomorrow after I get released from this RSP drill weekend. So see you guys in a little bit. Because everyone needs one. So it's like,
and same thing, if you go by handgun, you need graffiti Booker and the other guy graffiti on the restroom. And they had us the first sergeant and the commander. We didn't even get that, dude. You're like 4 years younger than you. Yeah. A little bit higher. We'll start do you?
Oh, at least the food was good though. So I didn't complain.
And what's going on, guys? As you guys could kind of saw, you know, that was pretty much the whole weekend that I had here for RSP-O. And yeah, it wasn't overall bad. As you guys kind of saw throughout the video, you know, when I arrived, I got there, and you know, I was kind of fortunate enough to, you know, have my phone throughout the time, you know, for that Saturday and Sunday. But you know, for Saturday, you know, we went through all our paperwork, you know, the stuff that we have to have. You know, it's going to be like our packet for OCS. And for us, OCS phase 0 is going to start next month in February. So that's going to be our start date for phase 0. It's going to be apparently, I think, 4 months. I need to double check on my schedule. And so after phase 0 is complete, then we'll, as OCS candidates, they'll give us an option to choose if we want to continue on in the traditional one, which is 1 weekend out of the month, or if we would like to go to the accelerated program, which will be 8 weeks. The accelerated one, as I've heard so far, I'll get more information as the process continues. But as of right now, what I heard this weekend is that the accelerated one is a selective one. So you can, opt to go the accelerated route. However, your selective process is going to be based on your knowledge, your physical fitness, and then you will have to go up in front of a board. I believe you're going to have some type of interview, and then you will be, either selected or not selected to continue in the accelerated process. However, if you're not selected, doesn't mean you get kicked out as an OCS candidate. You'll just continue on in the process as an OCS candidate in the traditional state program, which is 1 weekend out of the month. So that's all we did for, all day Saturday. We went through all the paperwork, make sure everyone had what they needed. Like I said, there is a checklist on it, the one that we received. Just go off of that. It makes it so easy for me. I'm really a stickler on it. I always want to make sure all my paperwork is, complete to the best of my abilities and in a folder as well. For me, it's never a fancy folder. I always have one of those, yellow, folders that are disposable. And I like to have mine organized, so I go off by the checklist that they provide. And as I check it off, that's the order that I have it in. So as for me, my birth certificate, number 1, checklist right there on top. Next, your ASVAB score, check underneath my birth certificate, and so on and so on. That's the way I like to do it. I strive to have it as in the best order as I can, let alone something that's going to be convenient for me. Make sure it's convenient for you, but make sure it's also organized. I can't stress that out enough. Being organized is one of the most important keys to being especially successful in any type of leadership role or management, especially if it's a leadership or management role that deals with a lot of paperwork, as you guys have seen from just the enlistment side and now going into the officer candidate school. So just whatever's convenient for you, but as long as it's organized and it's not just thrown in there, it looks nice and professional. So after that was completed, we were able to talk to one of our captains that's kind of helping us out through the process. Any questions that he was able to answer, questions that we had, suggestions, concerns, he was able to answer them. So it was very helpful. After that was completed, we then went and we did a small PT, which it was, it was pretty fun because, it wasn't just like a traditional, oh, this is what we're doing. They made it fun where it was competitive. Like, we had a total of 12 candidates for OCS right now, at least where we're at right now is Southern California. And one was on profile, one apparently is in the process of no longer being in the OCS program. That's your preference, that's your decision, that's people's decisions that they make. It could be personal, it could be, anything. Sometimes, they start realizing it's not the process that they want to go through. So it's fully understandable. So one was on profile, so he wasn't able to do it, so he sat out. The other one that's going to be, leaving the program, he sat out as well. So now it made the teams even 5-5. It was more like a relay race, and that was our PT. So it was very, very fun. It was a nice workout because we did sprints, shuffles, or shuttles, what they call them. We did kettlebells, we did 10-pound ball throw, and then we were doing T push-ups as well. So, it was a nice workout. And then after that was completed, as you kind of saw, we were released for lunch, and then we came back and we got a little bit more instructions of, a little bit more paperwork, and then pretty much going through the OCS process, this time with the captain and a lieutenant that showed up. So, you know, both the lieutenant and the captain are pretty much our main people that are going to be assisting us through, you know, our process to the best of their abilities, of course. They know that as us being OCS candidates or officer candidates, they know that we have to start learning the process to become in a leadership role and, you know, be able to take charge as well. So they're really aware of it, but they do release the leash on you a lot, so that way you're getting yourself out there to show your leadership roles and get you out of your comfort zone. So just be mindful about that. They're not, and that's what they entailed also, which you know, for me, I respect it 100%. They said we're not going to be holding your guys' hands. We're not going to be doing a lot of stuff for you guys, like, you know, printing out these paperworks that you guys need to get. They're going to show us how to get the paperwork, where to get the paperwork, and then how to set up your, you know, any packet that you need. So that's the way I believe it should always be, and you know, that just shows great leadership on their part. So, you know, I got nothing, you know, bad about it. It was, you know, the way, you know, it's called that tough love, which, you know, it's fully understandable, especially if you want to, you know, be following in their footsteps. So, you know, after we got done with that, it was just a quick brief. Then we were released for dinner, and we were able to go wherever we wanted. We were able to leave the base, but we just had to be back. If we were going to stay on base, we had to stay there. We had to be back by 18:30, or if you don't know that, that's 6:30 at night. We had to be back in the barracks because we were going to spend the night in the same barracks as the RSP Recruit Sustainment Program for those that have not gone through BCT yet. So they have to stay, of course, the Recruitment Sustainment Program, the RSP, that have not been to BCT yet, they have to stay. For us, we already have graduated BCT, so they gave us the option of even being able to leave, but we have to come back on Sunday. However, you know, it's your preference depending on how far you live. For me, apparently it's around 70 miles from my house. I'm not driving back home that night and then driving back the you know, Sunday morning. So that, you know, that's not convenient for me. So, but other than that, you know, we woke up at 5 in the morning today, or 5:30, and we had PT at 6 in the morning with the RSP candidates, the trainees that are going to be going to BCT. And it was like we did a little stretching, and they said it was about a 2-mile run, but it didn't feel like it. But, you know, it was at a very slow pace. After that, we did a little bit more stretching out, and then we were released around a little after 7 for RSP-Os. And then at 8:30, we were able to get food with the RSPs, which was like a teriyaki chicken bowl or vegetarian bowl, whichever one you preferred. They had one for meat and one for vegetables. And after that was completed, we met in the office. Oh, let me go back a little bit. We went, before we went to go eat, after our PT, we got released, and then we had to change into our OCPs. As you can see, I'm currently in my OCPs. So we had to change into our OCPs. Then at 8:30, so we had about almost an hour and a half of doing really, you know, hygiene stuff, or if you wanted to go off base or go get something to go eat, you can do that. But, you know, most of us just stayed there, and we waited till 8:30, and we got our, you know, free breakfast in a sense. And then after that was completed, we went back to our classroom, met with the same lieutenant from yesterday, and then a different captain today. And, you know, we didn't go through any paperwork this time, but we went through, you know, the OCS process, any questions, suggestions, any concerns, and then, you know, that we were able to get more advice from, you know, a third person that has gone through OCS. So it was very beneficial, and we were doing that for about almost an hour and a half, and then we got released, and it was around a little after 11. Right now it's 11:20, and I'm on my way back home. So it was very helpful. They asked if anyone had any questions or any concerns. People that had questions about, you know, OCS, the process, any branches that we are currently looking into and stuff like that. They were able to help us out, and it was for the most part it was very helpful. They were telling us certain things to kind of prepare for OCS, such as the OCS guide. I have not received that, but I'm going to be trying to look for that OCS guide. I know some people from where I'm currently at have been to OCS about once or twice. They have either like somehow failed, or they ended up dropping. I'm not sure for what reasons. I didn't ask at that time, but they're like being recycled to go through OCS once again. So I believe one of them has sent out like a copy of one of the OCS guides, a PDF. So I'm going to be studying that. What I saw so far, I only kind of glanced at it. It was about approximately 60 pages, I believe. So I'll be studying that for the next month, because my phase 0, they call it RTI. It's going to be held in February, and it's for 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that I'm aware of so far, phase 0 is going to be like that for the next 4 months at least. So, but that's all I got so far, and I look forward to my next video on going on and continue this process. And then as I continue looking up this OCS guide, that's gonna be certain things that I have to study for. So other than that, guys, take care. If you guys have any other questions, concerns, comments, please drop them down below. Any other videos you would like me to make or talk about, anything with law enforcement, BCT, joining at least military in the Army, National Guard, going through this OCS process, let me know, and I'll gladly make a video of it. If you guys have any questions on it, I'll be more than happy to answer them. And then other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.